Chapter 30, Race for the Cure. Before I begin this chapter, I need to go back in time to May of 2010. My Aunt Sherry had just been diagnosed with cancer and was going through chemotherapy. After visiting her one day, my Aunt Susie and I decided that we were going to sign up for Race for the Cure, which at that time was only a few weeks away. I've already alluded to the fact that I don't enjoy running. I wasn't sure how I was going to pull off a 5K, especially considering that it was only weeks away. But Susie and I knew that it was something we needed to do, so I settled into a crash course in running. Jog walking. The day of the race was beautiful. I walked until my legs went from being on fire to being completely numb. Despite the loss of feeling in my legs, I finished the entire 5 kilometers. It was a very moving experience for me, and I surprised myself by the scope of emotions that rushed through me while participating in the race. I distinctly remember looking around me before the race had started, and thinking that it was amazing how many lives cancer had touched. There were thousands upon thousands of people there, and each of them either knew someone with cancer or was a survivor himself or herself. It was incredible. When our portion of the race was complete, we were able to watch the survivors walk. I stood there looking at those amazing women with awestruck tears streaming down my face. Little did I know that just a few short months after that humbling experience, I would be counted among those who have heard the words, "I'm sorry to tell you, but you have cancer." Fast forward to May 2012. I was standing at the starting line of another Race for the Cure, but this time I was the one who had been personally touched by cancer. I was the one surrounded by an entire fleet of turquoise shirt-wearing people who were all ready to race in honor of me. Our team of Jogging for Jumblies, Mark's idea for a team name, was bigger than I imagined it would be. A few months earlier, I had put the word out on my blog and was pleasantly surprised at the amount of people who wanted to participate. They had loved me through it all up to that point and were there to continue to support me amidst the chaos that a Race for the Cure creates. Masses of people, as far as the eye can see, with everyone swimming in a sea of pink shirts, socks, tutus, or whatever else can be turned pink. That's why I chose turquoise for our shirt color, and I'm so glad that I did. It made it so much easier to spot the people who were in our group. Just a little race tip for you. In the days leading up to the race, I began having second thoughts. When I had signed up for the race, I was on my original beating cancer plan and thought that I would be done with radiation and well on my way to recovery. Instead, I was recovering from 2 unplanned surgeries and had not even crossed the radiation bridge yet. I honestly did not think that I had the strength to walk even 1 kilometer. But I had to do it. My friends and family were there, and I knew that I could not let them down, or more importantly, let myself down. At the beginning of my journey, I had promised myself that I would be at that race, and by golly, I was going to complete that goal. We made our way to the starting line, or as close as we could get to it, and waited for the signal to begin running. The butterflies in my tummy were already starting their race, and I was itching to get moving myself. Finally, we heard the faint sound of the race gun signaling us to start, and the sea of pink slowly inched its way forward. We were on our way. We did not set any records for speed that day, but that didn't matter. I relished every step forward because in my mind, it was very symbolic of the way that I had chosen to live my life with cancer, always moving forward no matter how hard things became. One of the highlights of the day was being able to participate in the Survivor's Walk. I was able to be there with my mother-in-law and some of the friends that I had met through my support group. It was the first time that any of us had participated in the walk. I was so grateful for them, especially my mother-in-law. She was celebrating 16 years as a breast cancer survivor. I look forward to the day when I hit that mark and beyond. During the walk, I was on such an emotional high that I was so grateful I had my sunglasses on. I didn't want everyone to see the blubbering mess I had become. As I walked with my fellow sisters in cancer, we held our heads high, and none of us could stop the tears. I felt proud to be in the company of so many strong and courageous women. I searched the crowd for my family, and as we turned a corner, I spotted them. When I saw them standing there, all decked out in their Jogging for Jumblies shirts and pink accessories, I completely broke down. All the frustration, anger, and fear from the past 9 months hit me right in the heart. Those feelings collided with the sheer joy that I experienced as I marched past my gang. The tears would not stop, and neither would the smiling. I had done it. I did what I set out to do and so much more. I had made it through chemo, surgeries, surprises, sickness, and everything else. One of my favorite moments from that day was captured in a photograph. It was the moment I was able to hug my 3 little girls. Those sweet, smiling faces, along with the rest of my family, was why I had endured it all and would continue to do whatever else the cancer wanted to throw at me. When the race and its accompanying festivities were over, we all met back at our house for lots of food and laughter. I was, once again, completely exhausted, but the elation that I felt was immeasurable. It was an incredible weekend and just the boost I needed to send me on my way. I felt my courage strengthened and knew that I could continue on the path, as bumpy as it had become, because I was never going to be alone.